Before I start this lesson, I'd like to give all praise and glory and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rukak Wadash, double honor to the apostle, elders, and bishops, a great millstone who rule and teach well. Shalom to 144,000 men that's pushing and believing His word out truth, sincerity, and sacrificing their lives and wants to do so. Shalom to the men, women, and children that's tuning in and listening. And shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad on all four corners of the earth. The Heavenly Father, name is Yahweh. His only begotten Son, name is Yahweh Shai. And Lord, when this video edifying, cooking straight to the point. This video right here will be entitled "The Economic Crisis / Collapse is Here." And I titled this like this because with everything that's going on over there in I forgot the name of the Strait of Suez or whatnot, or Gulf of Suez, or not Suez, Salakia. I start with H. I can't think of it, but everything that's going on over there in that body of water dealing with the U.S. and Iran, that's setting up an economic collapse of oil. Now, oil is important. Now, obviously, they hyping oil up to more than what it actually is. Now, oil is very important. I'm not going to sit up here and debate that because a lot of our lives depend on oil being used, like cars. Some brothers drive. Some brothers deal with very important technical savvy machinery, and some of that machinery needs oil, right? So, with that the U.S. is taking a big hit. Now, it's funny because didn't Trump just invade Venezuela not too long ago, if not a month ago, and now he's attacking Iran? And it's funny because you cutting off that port, or not port, you cutting off that, well, the Iranians cutting off that access to body of water. That's where a lot of individuals get their supplies and needs and wants by boat. And dealing with that affects how the economy runs, how people get things, how people get their everyday things or needs, right? So, that's leading to an economic collapse, as well as, and Apostle Ramlam did a video on Nebraska being on fire. Now, it's been funny because these last 2 to 3 years, California and a lot of that west side of the United States has been dealing with fires, plagues, pestilence. And then not too long ago, it was probably like 2022 maybe, they had a plague of locusts over there too as well. So it's a lot of stuff going on in Babylon the Great. And that's just like Egypt, right? Egypt had those plagues, right? Plagues of famine. They dealt with an economic collapse, right? When you go into Exodus, you read the plagues. That destroys their infrastructure and economics, because a lot of those, like crops, the cow, not just the cows, the cattle, right? The Lord plagued those things. They wasn't able to eat they wasn't able to eat things. Shit, the Lord had it to where they couldn't even damn near drink. Their water was basically polluted, and a lot of these things over here in Babylon the Great, aka America, is polluted now. Because why? Then nobody wanted to inquire of the Lord, and nobody wanted to sit up here and be like, you know what? Let's not destroy the planet. Let's not cause problems. Let's not piss off our I don't want to say counterparts, but our partners. And Trump is doing that, and he's been a perfect example of what not to be. A perfect president. He's sending his troops off in foreign matters and affairs, getting caught up in these things, and it's all good, because at the end of the day, he is going to usher in that NWO by these elites. But anyway, I'm going to start off in Habakkuk chapter 2, because this is exactly who these Edomites are, their characteristics, what they do, how they act, so on and so forth, right? So this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Yeah, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, right? And Esau Edom is notoriously known for his proud behavior, stout attitude, and pride. He's notoriously known for that. And that is exactly who he is in today's age, right? Kane was proud, and he was a sore damn loser. He was proud, a sore loser, right? A liar, deceiver, acting as such as if he was rightfully right for what he did, right? You got Cain, you got Esau, and the reincarnation of Cain, and now you got the Edomites here today. They have these same characteristics. Neither keepeth at home who enlarges his desire as hell and as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. So meaning what? Esau, Edom can never just be full and satisfied, right? He never can sit down. He can't just be content with what he has. This devil literally has everything in the palm of, like, for example, right? These elites, right? They own everything, right? They own the whole planet in terms of money, what goes on in the planet Earth. They literally can cause you got the Twin Towers, right? They have complete control of that. And it was and that's another thing too. A lot of those small hats that was in on Twin Towers, they basically was caught doing insurance fraud because why? They got tipped off saying, okay, this is what's gonna happen on this day and this day. Right? And it was a lawsuit dealing with that. And I looked into it. I have to go back into it. But that's exactly who these individuals is and what they do. Right? And this is what we're seeing in the planet Earth today. They completely hold they hold, and it's prophesied that they had the dominion in this latter end. Because why? They needed to bring in that NWO to chip all of these people here that ain't of the elect, right? But yeah, Esau Edom can't be satisfied. He go to other nations, Micah 2:1 and 2:2. He go to other nations, going around causing wars, starting wars, setting up puppet leaders to basically get what he want out of these other nations, right? Now, like for example with Venezuela, right? Now, they all these Edomites always had. Now, if you don't know, well, what you should know. Venezuela holds the tribes over there too, and Venezuela holds resources, right? It holds oil, it holds all those things. And with Esau Edom being who he is, he needs oil to do for the ICBMs, for all these things, right? Gold, so on and so forth, right? So just like for another example, when America was being founded, right? The Edomites, they had Angel and Ellis Island, right? They was basically mining gold, and we still see that today. Because why? Esau Edom likes to go around causing problems, taking what he want because he feel like he's justified. Oh, we need this. So, and in Esau mind, he thinks, okay, if I can't buy it from him, I'm gonna just go steal it. And that's exactly how he thinks and acts, right? So verse 6 shall not all these take up a parable against him, a taunting proverb against him, say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? To him that laded himself with thick clay. And when you go into that definition of that thick clay, now give me 1 second. I'm gonna go to blue letter. Oh damn! But thick clay goes into debt, right? What is that noise? Is that from the? Okay, Salakia. I didn't know that was even doing that. Blue letter. Salakia. Okay. Now here. Now. Okay. So let me go to Habakkuk chapter 2 real quick. Verse. If it's not Darion, what's that word over there? What's that word? second. I think Clay. No, it's not Darius. I'm thinking of another one. Okay. So the word is Strong's H5671. Oh damn, it ain't playing. Okay. But the definition goes into, give me 1 second. Bots, right? Okay, and the word goes into debt, right? Way of pledges, heavy debts, and right. America have given themselves to heavy debt because why? They ask for these loans for these other nations to do what they would like to with the money that they're using, and what? They use those loans to do whatever they want to do, and then they don't end up paying it back. And that's why the U.S. is, if not the highest debt nation in debt, if I'm not mistaken. I know they really up there in the debt, in the nations that owe debt, because all of these nations owe some form of debt, but America is the greatest. And that's another reason why these other nations hate America, because why? These Americans owe a lot of these individuals debt. They owe a lot of these individuals debt. They owe a lot of these people, these nations money, and America can't pay it all back. And that's another thing too. That's why they're gonna implement this system, because why? America's in debt. There's no way. It's trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. They're not going to be able to pay that debt off, right? And that's another thing too. Why we paying taxes, right? They using that money to fund the war. They're using that money for weaponry. They're not using that money for the good of the people, to fix up these roads, to make America great again, as they say, as Trump has been saying since he's been in office. He don't even say it no more. He don't really say it no more. He just make corny jokes. You know, he piss off the people that he having meetings with, so on and so forth. Trump has been a phenomenal president because why? He's bringing in WW3 and the NWO, simply put. And that's going to lead to what? The height of Jacob's Trouble and the height of World War III and the hour of temptation, right? So it goes into heavy debts with that word. So from there, I'm going to jump to, because you got to think, Trump ain't just, Trump ain't just, he's not just going to sit up here and treat you people well because he got debt. No, he's going to use you people to pay off the debts that the elites have, right? And with that debt, it's going to be hard for Americans to get what they need and want. That's why they raised up the prices of things, which is hyperinflation. That goes into, Revelation 6, right? But the point of it is, it's about to be a lot of hyperinflation, a lot of a lot of hyperinflation, a lot of lawlessness in America, Babylon the Great. Because why? The debt is so damn high that that they can't pay it off. You know, so that's exactly what we're dealing with, right? So I'm gonna jump here to Isaiah chapter 19. I'll just start at verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. They shall fight, everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. And yeah, that's exactly what's happening. You know, with all these things that's going on, with all these political viewpoints, with Esau, Edom being divided amongst Esau, Edomites against Edomites, Republicans against Democrats, MAGAs against everybody, right? The Lord is setting these people up for a very, very high and hard fall, right? I'm going to jump to verse 4 now. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. So yeah, what? Trump is that cruel Lord performing these acts on these people. raising up taxes, right? Raising up the price of things, letting inflation go by. You know, and it was funny because Trump was the one who said, "Oh well, we basically launched, for lack of better words, he said that we're gonna not tax you so much after you get your check, right? You know how you get your check, you get XX amount of check, right? X and X state taxes, federal taxes, and all of that. You get that taken out of your check. Trump said he's gonna cut that down, but what?" Right? Because you got overtime. You know, as many hours of overtime you work, you don't see none of that money back. You might see $100 or $200 back of all them hours of overtime you get. And why is that? Because they're taking that money from your poor ass and using it for something else. And you never see that money back. And then it's funny because when you go to file your taxes, you only get a very small amount of what you put in. Is that not unjust? Is that not okay? Is that not weird to Americans? But, you know, y'all just want to go out and go party, go to clubs, you know, live it up like it's 1999. Yet y'all people are sad, depressed, overutilized in the terms of how much money that you've made and being used, and your government is using it to cause mass deletions on the other side of the world. But this is what's written. So from here, I'm going to jump to 2 Ezra chapter 6. And then I'm going to close out. This 2 Ezra chapter 6, and I start at verse 9, straight to the point. For Esau is the end of the world, right? For Esau is the end of the world. And this ain't talking about the world, the whole world. You got your different meanings of world. You got cosmos, you got eon, or you got cosmos. I forgot the other two. But you have three meanings of world, right? It's the end of Esau's world, right? It's the end of his age, his era, his world. But Jacob, right, being the Israelites, being with Yahushua and the 144th, or King David and the 12 and so on and so forth, the 144,000 with Yahushua, right? They're gonna be the beginning of it that follow us. So that's showing you that the kingdom, not just the world, right, will be ruling righteousness. It's not going to be ruled in wickedness. And that word for debt is abadiyat. Let me see. Yep. Abadiyat. Okay, yep. But with that, I'd like to give our praise and glory and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash. Lord, when this video edified, and also next one. Shalom.